What did British generals think watching Americans storm D-Day? Did they expect courage or total disaster? And what they witnessed that morning changed their opinion forever. June 6, 1944 dawned gray over Normandy. American troops prepared to storm the most defended coastline. Far offshore, a general watched history unfolding nervously. Lieutenant General Omar Bradley stood aboard USS Augusta. Through binoculars, he studied chaos spreading across Omaha Beach. Landing craft burned while soldiers struggled through deadly surf. Machine guns from hidden bunkers never stopped firing. Bodies floated beside steel obstacles in cold water. Bradley realized something had gone terribly wrong already. The bombardment meant to destroy German defenses had failed. Bombers missed targets and shells barely touched bunkers. Now thousands of Americans faced deadly prepared defenses. Bradley even considered something almost unthinkable that morning. Maybe Omaha Beach had to be abandoned entirely. Pull survivors away and send reinforcements elsewhere. 8 miles offshore, he could not see everything. Among smoke and sand, one determined general moved. Brigadier General Norman Cota stepped onto chaos. 51 years old, walking with stubborn determination. German fire cut through soldiers pinned behind sea walls. Most men crawled desperately, hugging the sand. Cota did something different that stunned everyone nearby. He stood upright and walked across the beach. Bullets snapped around him, but he never stopped. He shouted orders, gathering scattered soldiers into groups. Shock slowly turned into determination among exhausted troops. Soon he reached soldiers from the 5th Rangers. They were pinned behind wire, unable to advance. Cota shouted words that became military legend. "Well then, Rangers, lead the way forward." The phrase later became official Ranger motto. A soldier crawled forward carrying a bangle or torpedo. Explosives blasted open wire, blocking path upward. First soldier through the breach fell instantly. Others hesitated, staring at deadly machine guns. Then Cota walked directly through the opening. Seeing their general advance, soldiers finally followed him. Small groups climbed bluffs, attacking German positions. The invasion plan had collapsed completely. What replaced it was courage and improvisation. Meanwhile, another dramatic story unfolded nearby. At Omaha Beach, Brigadier General Theodore Roosevelt arrived. He was 56 years old, using a cane. Despite heart problems, he insisted landing first wave. Strong currents pushed troops far from planned landing. Many commanders might panic or retreat. Roosevelt calmly studied unfamiliar coastline. Then he smiled and gave simple order. "We will start the war right here." Troops reorganized and pushed inland successfully. Roosevelt personally guided soldiers under artillery fire. His calm leadership steadied thousands of nervous men. Years later, Bradley called it heroic leadership. Roosevelt received Medal of Honor for bravery. Meanwhile, the nightmare continued on Omaha Beach. German machine gunners dominated every approach. Entire companies were nearly wiped out immediately. Company A lost almost all men within minutes. Yet small, determined groups kept advancing. Behind them, more landing craft continued arriving. German defenders expected Americans to finally retreat. Instead, the attacks slowly continued stubbornly. Something else soon changed the battlefield dramatically. American destroyers moved dangerously close to shore. Their guns blasted bunkers overlooking the beach. Captains risked grounding ships in shallow water. Shells smashed machine gun nests on bluffs. Soldiers finally found chances to move forward. Gradually, Americans reached the top of cliffs. By afternoon, Omaha transformed from trap into foothold. The beachhead was narrow but real. Across the channel, British commanders watched closely. Some had doubted American battlefield experience. Field Marshal Alan Brooke recorded thoughts privately. He respected American industry yet questioned their soldiers. British troops had fought Germans since 1939. Americans were newer to European battlefield conditions. Some British officers quietly worried about invasion. Would Americans stand firm under intense fire? Omaha Beach answered that question brutally. British observers saw chaos yet incredible persistence. Units shattered, yet soldiers kept advancing individually. This stubborn determination impressed many skeptical observers. Montgomery later personally honored General Norman Cota. He awarded him the British Distinguished Service Order. Such awards to foreign officers were extremely rare. It symbolized deep respect earned during battle. Even German defenders noticed relentless American attacks. Machine gunner Heinrich Severloh fired thousands of rounds. Still, Americans kept appearing through smoke and surf. German commanders expected the attack eventually collapse, but the breaking point never truly came. Wave after wave continued landing despite losses. German ammunition dwindled faster than expected. By evening, defensive positions slowly began falling. The beach that seemed impossible was captured. Allied commanders realized invasion would succeed. For British leaders, this moment changed perspectives. Americans fought differently, but they clearly fought hard. Respect replaced many earlier doubts about them. The alliance between nations grew stronger afterward. Together they pushed deeper into occupied France. Normandy breakout months later proved decisive. Paris was liberated and Germany slowly collapsed. Yet the defining memory remained Omaha Beach. Thousands of graves now overlook that battlefield. White crosses mark the cost of victory. British generals once doubted American fighting ability. Then they watched Americans storm deadly beaches. After that morning, respect replaced skepticism forever.